Good morning. Welcome to the Clueless Luthier. I'm Mark. And today we're going to do the scary part I promised in the last video. I'm going to be taking this noisy machine and routing out the channels for the binding. I'm also going to be working on the end cap. So let's see how this goes. All right, I have my Dremel on my angled mount again, and I have this all set up. This is going to prevent it from going too deep, and it's the depth. In fact, it's just slightly shorter so that I have room to take stuff off. So I'm going to start at the tail block, and because that's the easiest place to hide anything, and I'm going to make sure that it works there first. And it's another beautiful day in paradise. Actually, it's kind of cold here for Florida. But, all right. The next thing I'm going to do is cut the channel so I can inset this end cap. What I've done so far, I did a little bit of thicknessing on it. This was a head plate I bought that I'm not using for a head plate. And I've used some of it already for the rosette. So I've cut another piece off. I cut it basically to length. There is a hair over the ends here because I want to once I get it in, I'm going to use a file to make it nice and flush so that the binding will line up. But it's really close. I got about an inch wide. What I've done is I found the center of the top and the back, and I made some lines here so I could line it up well. And what I'm going to do is to start out, I'm going to take a razor blade. Boy, it's a bad angle. Let me see. And I'm going to angle it in just enough to get a nice mark. One more. Okay. Make sure I didn't move. Probably should have super glued tacked this down, but I didn't. So I just have to be careful. Don't want to go too wide. I'd rather go narrow if I have to. I can always either sand this down slightly or widen the hole. I can't make it smaller. Okay. Yep, that gives me a nice crisp line. So the next thing I'm going to do is just sharpen this. I don't know if it's sharp enough. I hope so. And I drag it so when I get into the slot, And I'm going to angle it slightly in. All right, not real deep, but okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my Dremel with my plunging base, because that way I can get a nice depth based on the piece of wood I just had. I think I've already talked about this base before, but it's worth repeating. I got it from StewMac. What's really nice about it is that you take this, you put it down so it touches the piece of wood that you want to route out. Then you loosen this and make sure there's a micro adjustment. Make sure that's retracted. Take the piece you're going to inset, put in, push that down tight, tighten it, and you're all set to go. Because what'll happen, it won't go any deeper than that. Now you can take the micro adjustment and make it even narrower so that you do multiple passes. In this case, I'm not going that deep, so I'm not going to. I think I'll be all set the way it is, but I've used that a lot. So let's get going. So what I did this for visibility. Those lines are hard to see, and I only want to creep up close to them, and then I'm going to take the rest out. So by putting the blue tape on there, it's really easy for me to see where I am. So, all right. All right, so I'm going to try to work a little bit more on getting a better cut here, and then clean it out with a chisel from the edges. All right, this is really nice, almost flush, really, really close. I might do a little bit more, but I think I'm just about ready to glue this on. All right. It's time. So I have some medium viscosity glue, AC glue. Put on here. Make sure I get the edges real good. Kind of harder to spread. Okay. Now I'm going to spray accelerant the back of this. And I got to make sure I get this right the first time. Get that on. Okay, a little bit too much, obviously. We can deal with that. Lost my towel. Okay. A little bit extra on there, didn't I? All right. Well, that's how I'm going to leave it for now. I'll do all the touch-ups later. Might need a little bit of sanding here on the edges, but I'll be sanding all of it anyway. All right, I kind of started to get ahead of myself here. So what I have is I have one of the bindings. I've taped it. What I did is I found where the waste in the binding is, pushed it nice and tight. Now what I'm going to do is bring this around, find the center right there. What I'm marking is the center where the two plates come together. It's really hard to see, which makes me happy, to be quite honest with you. And then we're going to go down here. Now actually, I marked this on this end. It doesn't matter. I'm going to cut this one short because it's covered by the neck, but I just want to know where it is. This one, however, is another story. Because this has to be dead on. Man, where is that? Right there. And I'm going to cut it a little proud and sand it square. Okay. All right, so I cut these and I sanded this square right on the line, I hope. So now what we have to do is do some glue. I got my tape here at the ready, even though at the moment it's a little bit in the way. God, this is hard to have a pain. I don't want too much. Now, the first one's going to be a placeholder. Paper off here. Man, that is just a lot of glue. What should I do about it? This point. Okay, that's just to hold it in place. Let's get this around. Get another one to hold it in place. All right. Now, even pressure. Working my way around. Leaving gaps here so I can see if there's any problems coming up. Short. All right. Sure everything looks good. Tight. That could be a little tighter right there. better? That's looking pretty good. All right. All right. Now do the other side. All right. Good news and bad news. I got it all on. Looking pretty good. Bad news is I had a casualty. And what's strange is I wouldn't do anything. It just like snapped and broke apart so easily. So there must have been a problem that I missed. But I have extra. I bought 2 extra. Should have bought more extra because I really want to use them as binding on the fretboard. So I'm going to have to bend up at least 1 more before I can finish the back. So I think I'm going to call this good for now, and I'll be back to you when I can actually do this. So, hey, thanks for stopping by, and we're getting there. Bye.